Hello students, today we are discussing the concept as well as question of exercise 2.2 of chapter 10 of class 10th. Relation between zeros and coefficient of polynomial. If suppose a polynomial px is given, that is ax square plus bx plus c. In this exercise we are having polynomial whose degree is 2. That means the highest power of variable is 2. Let its zeros be alpha and beta. Zeros means we know that zeros means the value of x. The number if the degree of polynomial is 2, that means there are two values of x are there. That means there are two zeros. Let it be considered as alpha plus alpha and beta. So here we have to find out the sum of zeros. Sum of zeros will be alpha plus beta, and that will be equal to minus b by a. Product of zeros will be equal to alpha into beta, that will be equal to c by a. We have to verify this relation between zeros and coefficient of a polynomial. So px is our polynomial ax square plus bx plus c, and alpha and beta are its zeros, or we can say that roots. The sum of the zeros alpha plus beta will be equal to negative of b, that means the coefficient of x, by a, that means the coefficient of x square, and product of zeros alpha into beta, that will be equal to c by a, that means constant term divided by the coefficient of x square. So let us understand the concept. If suppose a quadratic equation or a polynomial ax square plus bx plus c is given, we have to find out its zeros, or we can say that it's the value of x. So here what we have to do, we have to multiply the coefficient of x square as well as constant term, that will be equal to a into c. Whatever the answer we get, we have to find out, we have to split this coefficient of x in two numbers such that it's when we multiply both the number, we get its answer, and when we add or subtract these two numbers, we will get the value of b. How this whole things get work, we will understand this in this example. Let us consider an example px is equal to 3x square plus 5x minus 2. If we compare this with ax square plus bx plus c, what we get, a means coefficient of x square, that will be equal to 3, so a will be equal to 3, and b will be equal to what, 5, and c is the constant term, that will be equal to minus 2. Now we have to multiply what, a and c, that means 3 into minus 2. 3 into minus 2 will be equal to minus 6. Now we have to find out two numbers. When we multiply it, we will get minus 6, and when we subtract or add this two number, we will get the value of b. So here we are having two number, that is 6 and minus 1. 6 and minus 1. When we multiply it, 6 into minus 1 will be equal to 6. Will be equal to minus 6, that is our desired value, and we add this 6 plus minus 1, that will be equal to 6 minus 1 will be equal to 5, and that will be equal to what, b, which we want. So this is the concept how to split this coefficient of x into two part. So can I write 5x as 6x minus x? 6x minus x will be again 5x. So 3x square plus 6x minus x, or 1x minus 2. So 3x square plus 6x, 1x will be equal to x and minus 2. From these two terms, what we get common, that will be equal to 3x. So what will remain here, if we take out 3x as common, so we will get only x, and if we get 3x from here, what will we get, what will remain, only 2. There is nothing common, but there is both the side we have minus, that means we take minus 1 common from this, what will we get, x plus 2. When we take common from both the terms, this term and this term will be same, should be same, so that our solution will be correct. So px will be equal to, when we take 2x plus 1 common from this and this term, x plus 2 common from this and this terms, so x plus 2, what is the remaining term, 3x minus 1. So this is the split form of this particular quadratic equation. Now for finding the zeros, we have to put this is equal to 0 and this is also equal to 0. So 3x minus 1 will be equal to 0. So 3x, when this one goes that side, it will become plus 1. So 3x will be equal to 1, x will be equal to 1 by 3, and 3x plus 2 equal to 0, x will be equal to minus 2. So here we are having two values of x. This is actually called zeros of our polynomial equation. So as we discussed earlier in the video that its zeros will be alpha and beta. So here we are taking alpha is equal to 1 by 3 and beta equal to minus 2 by 3. Now what we have to check, alpha plus beta will be equal to minus b by a. So first we have to find out alpha plus beta. Alpha plus beta means this 1 by 3 plus minus 2. So that will be equal to 1 by 3 plus into minus 2. When we take LCM, when we multiply this from that, 1 into 1 will be 1 and 3 into 2 will be 6. So 1 minus 6 upon 3. That will be equal to minus 5 by 3. And alpha plus beta equal to minus b by a, that means minus b means minus 5. Minus 5 by a means 3. So alpha plus beta will be equal to minus b by a. And when we have to find out the product, that is alpha into beta, that will be equal to 1 by 3 into minus 2, that will be equal to minus 2 by 3, and alpha into beta will be equal to c by a, that means minus 2 by 3. So that will be equal to c by a. With the help of this procedure, we will able to understand, or we will able to find out the relation between zeros and coefficient of a polynomial. The most important step for solving this question is how to split this. So to understand the concept of a split, you have to go through the few more questions so that it is easy for you to understand the concept. So we are discussing exercise 2.2, question number 1. Find the zeros of following quadratic polynomials. We have to find out the zeros of quadratic polynomial. Here are the 6 polynomial we are having, and verifying relation between zeros and the coefficients. We have to verify the relation between zeros and coefficient. That means we have to check what alpha plus beta will be equal to minus b by a, and alpha into beta will be equal to c by a, as we have discussed already in the previous section. So here is the first question of exercise 2.2, and the first part of the question, px is equal to x square minus 2x minus 8. If we compare this equation with ax square plus bx plus c, what we get, a will be equal to 1, nothing is there, that means there is 1. B will be equal to minus 2 and c will be equal to minus 8. So a into c means 1 into minus 8, that will be equal to minus 8. We have to find out two number. When we multiply it, it will become minus 8, and when we subtract or add it, it will become minus 2. So here are the two number, that is minus 4 and 2. When we multiply it, minus 4 into plus 2, that will be equal to minus 8, and when we add it, minus 4 plus 2, that will be equal to minus 2, which is the value of b. So can I write minus 2x is equal to minus 4x plus 2x? When we add this, it will become again minus 2. So x square minus 4x plus 2x minus 8. What we have common in this section? Only x. So when we take x common from this, it will become x minus 4. There is also something common, that is 2, and that will be equal to x minus 4. X minus 4 is common from both the sections. So x minus 4 is common, and what will remain? X plus 2. For zeros of the polynomial, this term will be equal to 0 and this term also will be equal to 0. So x will be equal to 4 and x will be equal to minus 2. So here we are having alpha and beta, both the values of x. Alpha and beta. Alpha equal to 4 and beta equal to minus 2. Now the sum of the zeros, alpha plus beta will be equal to 4 plus minus 2, plus into minus will become minus, 4 minus 2 will be 2. So alpha plus beta will be equal to minus b by a, and that will be equal to minus, what is b? Minus 2 by a, that will be equal to 1. Minus into minus plus, alpha plus beta will be equal to 2. So here we are having relation between the coefficients of relation between zeros and its coefficients, and the product of the zeros will be equal to c by a. Product means 4 into minus 2 will be equal to minus 8, and alpha into beta will be equal to c by a, that will be equal to minus 8 by 8, that will be equal to minus 8. So this is the solution of question number 1. So we will discuss second question of the same topic, and question is 4s square minus 4s plus 1. So when we compare it, a will be equal to 4, b will be equal to minus 4, and c will be equal to 1. So a into c will be equal to 4 into 1, that will be equal to minus 4, and minus 4s square minus 4s plus 1. A into c will be equal to 4. So we have to find out two numbers. When we multiply it, it will give 4, and when we add or subtract it, and when we add it, it will become minus 4. So here are the two numbers, minus 2 and minus 2. So when we multiply it, minus 2 into minus 2. So minus 2 and minus 2 are the two numbers. When we multiply it, minus 2 into minus 2, it will become 4. And when we add it, minus 2 plus plus into minus will be minus. So minus 2 will be equal to minus 4. And that is our B. So it will be split as minus 2 and minus 2. When we take these two terms, what is common? That is 2s. When we take 2s common, here there is only 2s. And when 2 is common from this term, that will become minus 1. There is nothing common, but when we take minus 1 common, it will become 2s minus 1. We have to make these two terms equal, so that we will take both the terms common from this particular equation. So 2s minus 1 and 2s minus 1. 2s minus 1 will be common from this two terms. What will become 2s minus 1? For zeros, this will be equal to 0, and this will also be equal to 0. So 2s minus 1 will be equal to 0, 2s minus 1 will be equal to 0. So s will be equal to 1 by 2 and s will be equal to 1 by 2. Here we have alpha 1 by 2 and beta 1 by 2. When we add it, it will become 1, and that will be equal to minus b by a as per the equation. And when we multiply it, it will become 1 by 4, and that will be equal to c by a as per the question. Now, next question is little bit different from other question. Let us discuss how it is different. As we discussed, that question is given in the form of ax square plus bx plus c. Here it is clear that ax square is there, c is also there, but bx is not. So when bx is not there, we can write it as in the form of 0t if it is necessary in the question. But we have to understand a formula that a square minus b square will be equal to a plus b into a minus b. So here t square minus 15 is given. Can we write 15 as root 15 the whole square? Square root cancel. It will become again t square minus 15. So a square minus b square will be equal to a plus b, a minus b. For zeros, this will be equal to 0, and this also becomes 0. So when this will be equal to 0, t will be equal to 15, and here t will be equal to root 15, and here t will be equal to minus root 15. So alpha plus beta will be equal to sum of the zeros, and that will be equal to 0, and that will again equal to b by a, and product of the zeros will be equal to minus 15. Root 15 into minus root 15 will be equal to minus 15, and that will be equal to c by a, as per we discussed in our previous section. So here are the three questions that is related to relation between zeros and the coefficients of polynomial, and there are three more questions. You have to solve it by your own. So here are three questions. You have to solve it by your own, and that is 4u square plus 8u, and next one is 3x square minus x minus 4, and next one is 6x square minus 7x minus 3. So you have to try it at your home by your own and get the answers. Thank you. Hello students, today we are discussing second type of question of exercise 2.2 of class 10th. So in our first question, we have discussed a equation, a quadratic polynomial is given, and we have to find out zeros and relation between them. That means this quadratic equation is given, and we have to find out the value of if a quadratic equation given, then we have to find out both the values of x and check whether the sum of the zeros is equal to minus b by and product of the zeros is equal to c by a or not. So in this question, zeros are already given. So let us discuss one more time. This is our polynomial equation which we have discussed in our previous video. So polynomial equation is given, and we have to find out the value of our polynomial function, that is x. So here we are solving it, factorizing it, and then solve it and getting the values of x, that is 4 and minus 2. We will discuss this in our previous video. So now the question is reverse. These zeros are given to us, and we have to find out the polynomial equation. So that we have to follow the reverse process to find out the polynomial equation. So let us see this thing in our book, that is this question. Find a quadratic polynomial. Now we have to find out what quadratic polynomial. Quadratic means quadratic means the power of variable or the degree of variable is 2. Each with the given number as the sum and product of its zeros respectively. So in this question, the first value is given as the sum of the zeros and second value is given as the product of the zeros. As it is already mentioned in the question, sum and product, that means first is sum and second one is product. So first one is sum of the zero and second one is product of the zeros. Let us discuss how to solve this type of problems. So here is exercise 2.2 and this is part 2 and question number 2. So the first question is sum of the zeros is 1/4 and product of the zeros is -1. That means this is very simple formula to find out the polynomial equation, that is x square minus sum of the zeros, that is 1/4 into x plus product of the zeros. Simple formula is equal to 0. So we have to find out quadratic polynomial x square minus sum of the zeros, as it is already given in the question. Sum of the zeros is 1/4, so 1/4 into x plus product of the zeros, and product of the zeros is -1. Now we have to do nothing, we have to take LCM. So when we take LCM, here is 1, here is 4 and here is 1. So as it is clear, 4 is the LCM, so 4 will be multiplied here. 4x square minus x minus 4 by 4 is equal to 0. When we cross multiply this 4, this will when it will multiply with 0, it will become 0. So 4x square minus x minus 4 is equal to 0. This is the quadratic polynomial of these zeros in this particular question. Let us discuss one more question related to same. Sum of the zeros is 0 and product of zeros is √5. So before discussing this, let me tell you one more thing. As it is given, sum is equal to 1/4 and product is equal to -1. There is one more method to solve this type of problem. Sum of the zeros, that means alpha plus beta, will be equal to 1/4, and product of the zeros, that means alpha into beta, will be equal to -1. So we know that sum of the zeros will be equal to minus b by a, and that will be equal to 1/4. And similarly, c by a is the product of zeros, and that will be equal to how much? -1. Nothing is in denominator, that means 1 is in the denominator. So what we have to do, we have to check here denominator is a, here is also denominator a. So in front of a, what we have 4, so we just multiply and divide this equation by 4, so we get the value of a in both the side same. So minus b by a will be equal to 1/4 and c by a will be equal to -4/4. So on comparing this, what we get, this a will be equal to 4. On comparing, denominator a will be equal to 4 and b minus b will be equal to 1. That means a will be equal to 4 and minus b will be equal to 1. That means what? B will be equal to -1. And on comparing this, c will be equal to -4. So what we have? We have a polynomial equation that is will be represented by px will be equal to ax square plus bx plus c. What is the value of a? Here we have value of a is 4, so 4x square. What is value of b? -1, that means minus x plus c. What is the value of c? -4. So this is one more method to get the polynomial with the help of sum of zeros and product of zeros. Hope you understand this method also. So I just prefer this formula method because it is easiest for the student to solve. So sum of the zeros is, let us discuss second question. Sum of the zeros is 0 and product is √5. So we know that x square minus sum of the zeros into x plus product of the zeros will be equal to 0. X square minus sum of the zeros is what? 0. 0 into x plus product of the zeros means √5 will be equal to 0. So this whole term becomes 0. X square plus √5 will be equal to 0. You can also solve this question with this method, as I discussed this earlier in front of you. So, and third question is sum of the let us discuss one more question. Sum is equal to 1 and product is also equal to 1. So x square minus sum of the zeros is what? Minus 1x plus product of the zeros is what? 1. So product of the zeros is 1. So x square minus x plus 1 will be equal to 0. Similarly, here are 3 more questions. You just try to solve it at home. Sum is 1, product is sum of the zeros is 1 and product of the zeros is 1. And the second question is sum of the zeros is minus 1 by 4 and product of the zeros is, you just change this question. Sum of the zeros is root 2. Sum of the zeros is root 2 and product of the zeros is 1 by 3. So because 1 and 1 is already discussed previously, so you just change this question. Sum of the zeros is root 2 and product of zeros is 1 by 3. Second question is sum is minus 1 by 4 and product is equal to 1 by 4. And third question is sum is equal to 4 and product is equal to 1. So student, try it at home. It's easier for you to get the answer. Thank you.